Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we shall discuss the markup. First of all, we shall define that what is markup. So when we borrow some amount from a bank for a specific uh, time, so the bank charges an extra amount, and a percent, which is called the markup. This is also called as the simple interest. The simple interest markup څه شی markup چې کله چې موږ د بانک نه قرضوالو نو بانک چې کنه هغه په قرضه باندې د اصل اماونت نه علاوه په قرضه باندې نور څه چې کنه هغه نور ایکسترا اماونت چې کنه هغه چارج کوي صحیح ده فار ایگزامپل کو تاسو 10 لک روپۍ قرضه چې کنه د بانک نه اخیستې ده نو د دې ټایم چې کنه 15 کال دی نو تاسو وایي چې ته 15% چې کنه دا وشکه ایکسترا مو ورکه دا 10 لکه صحیح ده کنه نو تقریبا چې 15 لک روپۍ چې کنه دا بانک ته ادا کړي ٹھیک ده کنه نو کم ایکسترا اماونت چې تا ادا کو صحیح ده کنه لکه 10 لک تا په 6 لک روپۍ سکره سیوا ادا کړی کنه نو دې ته موږ څه وایو نو دې ته موږ مارکاپ وایو یا دې ته موږ سمپل انټرست چې کنه دا ورته هم ویل شي and it depends upon the amount borrowed and the time period for which it was borrowed. So it is important that how much amount you have borrowed from the bank and for how much time you have borrowed this amount. So the money borrowed by a person is known as the principal amount. When you borrow a specific amount from a bank, this is called as the principal amount, and the additional amount which you have to pay to the bank as an extra amount by the borrower to the lender, it is known as the markup or the simple interest, which is the principal amount is represented by P, and T is the time period. The time period for which we have borrowed the amount from a bank, and R is the rate. R is the rate, and so for the markup to calculate, we have a formula. So markup is equal to markup up is equal to P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100. Where P is the principal amount. P is the principal amount, that is you have borrowed how much amount from a bank. This is called as the principal amount, and R is the rate, that how much an extra amount you have to pay as a percent. So which is called as the R, and T is the time of borrowing. How much period you have borrowed this amount, and it is a we have to find it as a percentage, so we will divide it by 100. The mark of the formula chekam sasra adam sara P is R the T divided by 100 da P chire kana P zam sara P zam sara principal amount hai. Principal amount matlab da shu kana chitta the bank sumra rupai chi na ta avasti nage tam ka soayu age tam ka principal amount vayu R chire kana dam sara rate hai صحیح ده کنه ریټ مطلب دا شو کنه چې تا په سو ایکسترا اماونت باندې په پرسنټیج کې تا څومره وخت لپاره دا دغه چې کنه د سو پیسو ایکسترا اماونت باندې دا قرضه چې راته اغستې ده او ټي چې نوم سر ټایم دی چې تا د څومره وخت لپاره دا قرضه اغستې ده ډیوایډ بای 100 دغه علاوه so first we shall start an example, and the example is find the markup and the interest on rupees 80,000. So the principal amount is 80,000. So VP is equal to 80,000, and T is equal to 5 years. 5 years, and the rate R is equal to 7%. Now we have to find the markup. So markup is equal to, we have the formula. Markup is equal to P is R T divided by 100 of. So P is the principal amount. The principal amount is of 80,000 multiplied by R is the rate. Rate is of 7% multiplied by T is the time divided by 100. This 0 will be cancelled with this 0. This 0 will be cancelled with this 0. Now 5 7s are 35. So at 100 at 100 multiplied by 35. So double 0 and at 5 are 40. At 3 24. 24 plus 4 is a 28. So you have borrowed 80,000 rupees for 5 years at the rate of 7%. You have to pay 28,000 extra amount to the bank, and this is called as the markup. And we have found the markup because the bank the rupees so achia the super the para the pindu the para or super center rate pandi 7% bandi usko markup malum ka chis toba extra amount taken the bank tata sumra worke no markup the sir panu lekana markup the sir barabar ne ऐसा the p the r the beauty divided by 100 of also very check up put the p value number sola 80,000 the r number sola r number is 7% of our time number time number 5 years divided by 100 the number 7% है that 0 by 0 किस तरह cancel को that 0 by 0 से cancel को बस 5 7 the 35 multiplied by 800 दो 0 गन पर ऐसी और 8 5 the 40 do बोले तो 4 बकेरी शेयर 24 plus 4 is equal to 28 no that 28,000 number social ها da the number extra amount شو جالي تمنا سوايو هذا تمنا markup وايو دا 80,000 रुपये रागस्ती नहीं पिंडो का लपारा no पिंडो का लबाद बाल कत्ता 28,000 रुपये चीज़ ना पिता extra वाके so 1,08,000 रुपये चीज़ ना बता वाके बेचा तार रागस्ती 80,000 दी सही है ना हमारा का पसर 800 और 28,000 है no तो बा पिंडो का लबाद total amount चेक करना तो सो वाके हाँ अगर 1,08,000 रुपये चीज़ ना बता बेचा वाके 80,000 हम सरप्राइज सब amount को अब बाकी चीज़ हम सरसे शो हम सरसे markup शो ठीक है पोस्ट पे बजेगा ना आसान दिला बल यो क्वेश्चन दे वही calculate the principal amount of f markup is equal to delta we have to find the principal amount of because here the principal amount of we have to find the markup is given rate is also given and the time is also given now we have to find the principal amount that how much amount you have borrowed from a bank so we have to find that amount which you have borrowed from a bank the markup is given the rate is also given and the time is also given now we have to find the principal amount of so markup is given markup is equal to 45 for 100 4,000 and 500 is the markup of and the r is also given r is equal to rate is equal to 5% of and the time is also given t is equal to 3 years now we have the formula markup is equal to p multiplied by r multiplied by t divided by 100 but we have to find here the principal amount we have to find the p we have to find p so p is equal to that is p is equal to markup and here p here r and t are in multiplication but when we bring it on the opposite side of the equal sign so it will be converted into division form so we will divide the r multiplied by t and 100 here as a division form but when we bring it on the opposite side of the equality sign so it will be multiplied now we will plug the values of markup is equal to how much markup is of 4,000 and 500 multiplied by 100 divided by R is a 5% multiplied by T is a 3 years. Now 3 1 the 3, 3 1 the 3, 3 5 the 15, 0 and 0. And now 5 1 the 5 and 5 2 the 10 and 0. Now 20 will be multiplied with the 1500. So and 2 5 the 10, 2 1 the 2 and 1 is equal to 30,000. 30,000, it means that you have borrowed of 30,000 rupees from the bank. And when you have taken the 30,000 rupees from a bank, you have paid 4,500 rupees as extra amount, which is called as the markup or the simple interest per 3 years at the rate of 5%. So the question is question चलेगा हम सर वही मार्कअप मुझे रखल है मार्कअप मुझे सो है 4,500 है सो 4,500 है रेट रखल है 5% है टाइम रखल है दे करा बस वही 10 जुने ता रखल ली 10 सोर कर ले 4,500 ठीक है और रेट सा सो है 5% है टाइम चले कना दे करा है तो इतना के बैंक में 100 रुपए खर्च रहा है no sir formula is taken markup no sir over the p the r the b divided by 100 of was mun sa pa kana mun the p pa kana principal amount mun pa kana principal amount no sir over the markup da r او t shi da pasi kiji ha da for multiplication kiji da with equal ne faralo da pasi kiji ha da mun sara for division pan bishi da 100 chi da for division ke chi da faralo pasi ki bishi for multiplication kiji no markup no sir 4,500 ضرب 100 divided by r पे किसो है r पे किसो सर 5 multiplied by t पे किसो है 3 हां तो गोरा 15 45 और 3 पर 3 5 5 20 100 20 से 500 की जरा पर 100 उतरे शी 30,000 दे मतलब 10 करा जितना बैंक 100 रुपए खर्च आगस्ती हां ताले बैंक 30,000 रुपए शी ने दायते खर्च आगस्ती पागे में 4,500 रुपए का एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट पे अदा कर ले the 5% पे हिसाब से د دریو کال لپاره ٹھیک ده دا فارموله چې کنده به ساتل غواړي چې فارموله ته یاد نو کوېسچن چې کنده بیا ډیر زیات اساني خو کو فارموله ته نه یاد نو کوېسچن بیا حل کول چې کنده زیات صحیح مشکل د فارموله مثال نو سره د چابې ده صحیح ده کنه تاسو چې کنه لاکل د چابې سره نشي نو څه سره کوي ها ٹھیک ده چې چابې سره نو په اسانه باندې لاک چې کنده ولې وې دي شي نو فارموله سره کنه د کوېسچن ډیر زیات په اسانۍ سره حل کېدای شي خو فارموله نه بیا کوېسچن حل کول ډیر زیات مشکل ان شاء الله په یو پوښتنه ثانک یو